Hey guys, Alma's Garage here. Today I've got a quick video for you showing you how to change front discs on any car. This actually is a Vauxhall Corsa, but the principles apply to any car on the market pretty much. Now you're going to need some basic tools, a wrench, screwdriver, spanner, and obviously a new disc. Now the first job you need to do is to take the wheel off the car. I've got an impact wrench. This helps a lot. If you don't have an impact wrench, I would suggest that whilst the car is still on the ground before you jack it up, that you use a socket and a breaker bar or something similar just to break the nuts loose. Then crank the car up and undo them with a wrench. The next thing to do, you don't have to do it, but it does help, is to turn the wheel out, or the hub shall I say. This will give you a lot of access to the back of the caliper. Now as you can see, there's two retaining bolts. These will be on all types of discs. These are Torx 25. If you've got a vented disc, which this car has, the best method that I find is to shove a screwdriver up underneath the caliper, and this, as you will see, stops the disc from spinning whilst you're trying to undo these bolts. Now these bolts can be extremely difficult to get off. You may need to use a bit of heat or a bit of oil, and if that doesn't work and you end up rounding the bolts, you're going to have to drill them out. It's not the end of the world, because these bolts actually only position the disc. They don't hold the disc onto the hub. It's actually the bolts on the wheel that hold the discs onto the hub. And if you haven't got these bolts, or you've had to drill them out, it's not an MOT failure, so don't worry too much about it. This car has got 13mm nuts bolts that hold the caliper onto the caliper housing. You should be able to undo these by hand. I tend to use a spanner. You could use a socket, but a spanner has never let me down before. As I said, these actually hold the caliper onto the housing. Once you've sort of broken the nuts loose, got to stop saying that. Once you've broken the bolts loose, the caliper is free to come away from the caliper housing. Now you're going to need something to prise away the caliper. I tend to use a crowbar. You could use a big screwdriver like a flat blader. Shove it in between the caliper and the caliper housing and just prise it away. This may be really stiff at first, but just keep going, it will come away. I've been there sometimes, like 30 seconds a minute trying to get these off. Now once that's done, you don't have to do this, but I would suggest that you use some zip ties or a bit of string, something similar, to hold the caliper out of the way of the disc and the hub. And you could tie it around the coil spring. There's another reason you do this is to stop any strain on the brake hose, something you don't want. So yeah, crank it out of your way and you're good to get the caliper housing off. As you can see, I've pushed it back. There's no strain on the hose. I'm now on to the caliper housing bolts. Now these are going to be quite tough to get off. You could use a socket and a breaker bar. I tend to use a spanner because I do this a lot, and I just hold the spanner on with my finger to stop it slipping off the bolt, and just hit it with a hammer. As you can see, it's come loose. Do the same for the other one. Probably not the most orthodox method, but it's always worked for me. Once you undo these bolts, the caliper is free to come away from the disc. As you can see, they've come off, and the caliper housing has come off with the pads, and fortunately for me, the actual disc has come away from the hub. Now the disc can be welded almost onto the hub if there's a lot of rust or the car is very old. The only way you're really going to get them off is just to use brute force and bash the disc off. Go from the back, maybe heat the disc up a little bit. Sometimes they're very tough, but you know, perseverance, and you will get that disc off. There's nothing else holding that disc on to that hub. You don't have to do this, but I do on most cars. Just use a wire brush. They can be bought for a couple of quid, just to clean up any sort of surface rust or any, you know, dust and debris that's left on the hub. Right, here we have the old disc. As you can see, it's really rusted. Now this is a vented disc. Can you see the little gaps in the centre of the disc? Some discs are solid, but most cars these days have vented discs on the front of vehicles. It helps release the heat from the disc. Now all new discs will come with like a sort of oil that's been coated onto them. This stops them sort of rusting, I think, when they're in storage. I would advise you get some sort of brake cleaner, or maybe even like soapy water, just to get this off. It makes it a little bit safer because obviously there's no oil, so there's no loss of friction when you come to first use the brakes. And secondly, it stops any sort of stones or debris sticking to the discs. Now, as you can see, there's the hub, the new disc. Position it up, so you've lined up the retaining holes with the retaining holes on the hub. Fix your retaining bolts back in. These can be quite fine threads, so just go careful. You don't want to cross thread this. Like I said, I think this was a Torx 25 on this car. It might have been a Torx 27, I'm not too sure. But pretty common tools, you know, easily available on eBay or your local sort of machine mart. Just do these up hand tight. They don't need to be crazy tight or anything like that. Now we're going to put the caliper housing back onto the hub. I've already put the pads in the housing, and I've used the same pads again because they had quite a good bit of life left on them and so on. Just get your bolts, feed them into the holes. You may need to jig about the caliper housing a little bit just to get them to go in, and obviously not cross thread and so on. And presto, you've got your caliper housing back on. Now you want to get these pretty tight. I've got a ratchet spanner here that I'm using. I'm putting quite a bit of force when I'm doing these up, just to ensure, you know, they are tight. You may want to use a socket and a breaker bar. Now I'm going to use the same method as I used to undo them. Hammer, spanner, hit it a few times. It's never let me down, so. Now that cover that's coming off is just a heat shield, I think, or something along those lines, that stops the pads from squealing. I'll just push that back on. Now as you can see, I need to obviously fully tighten the retaining bolts again. Once again, use the screwdriver method, but obviously put it in the top now, so that when you go to do the bolts up, it stops this from turning. Okay, you now got the caliper. Now, this isn't actually necessary if you're not replacing the pads, but if you are replacing the pads, you're going to have to push the caliper piston back. Now this here is what you call a rewind tool. They can be bought for about 10 quid, 15 quid on eBay. You know, real sort of cheap. Handy thing to have, so worth investing in. As you can see, I'm just twisting and it's slowly pushing the piston back into the caliper. Now, I would advise that before you push this back in, you take the reservoir cap off under the bonnet off the brake fluid pot. You can do it without, but it's best practice just to take the top off. Right, so that's back in. That will literally slot back over the pads onto the caliper housing. You may need to jig about it a little bit to get it to go on. There we go, it's on. So now we need to put our 13mm bolts back in. You should be able to do this by hand initially. There shouldn't be that much pressure on these bolts, and if there is, just play around with the caliper a bit until it, they go in easily. That's it really. As you can see, I'm actually using a ratchet spanner here to do these up. It makes the job a bit quicker. If you haven't got a ratchet spanner, don't worry, just use a standard spanner. It'll take you a bit longer, but the result will be exactly the same. You want these to be fairly tight. That's pretty much most of the job done. All you now need to do is put the wheel back on. Now when you put a wheel on a car, you want to make sure you get the wheel quite flush before you put the bolts in. As you can see, I'm pushing the wheel with my hand, just so you don't end up cross-threading the wheel bolts into the hub. I find it tends to help if you've got the bolts in the socket, because obviously there is some sort of recess there, and it's very difficult to actually get in with your fingers. So you just shove the bolt in the end of the socket and just do as shown. Now I'm using the impact wrench to do these up tight. If you haven't got an impact wrench, do them up as tight as you can. You may have to hold the wheel, and then obviously check the torques, or do them up tight after the wheels back on the ground. There we go. That is how to change front discs on pretty much any car.